Hey, hello world. It's Bruce, and I'm going to try something new and exciting. It's new and exciting for me. Hopefully, it's exciting for you. What I'm going to try to do is show how to summarize an entire book using ChatGPT. Sorry, using Gemini 1.5, which I just got access to. So, just to sort of, I'm going to try to keep it under 10 minutes, but to sort of set the stage and the context. At the end of last year, Google introduced like Gemini, and pretty much established parity with ChatGPT 4. So this is like a ranking of different chatbots. And so here we see GPT-4 is still on top. Then we have Claude from Anthropic, which just came out, and then Bard. These are quite close. So just to talk about how this is created, the people who are testing can enter a prompt, and it gets sent to two random chatbots. The judge doesn't know what they are, and then you get two answers back, and then you can rate which one is better. And so, based on all these rankings, we can use the ELO methodology to compute a score. And this seems like a very good methodology to me. And it's a difference from 1200 to 1250 probably means that Gemini wins 40% of the time. It's not a very big difference. And this is Gemini Pro, which is the free version. We also have Gemini Advanced, which is a larger version. Like here, I'm using it to figure out how to edit some videos. So I think I'm kind of safe in saying that Gemini 1.0 got pretty much parity with GPT-4 as a monolithic model. And then they just came out with Gemini 1.5. Gemini 1.5 is a mixture of multiple models. So when you enter a prompt, it'll decide based on the prompt which model trained for different types of situations is best to send it to. It'll basically combine multiple models trained using different criteria. So it should give a very significant improvement over Gemini 1.0. And it adds a million token context window. So it will accept a very large input. And that's what we want to test today is like uploading an entire book. And the last thing is like for now it's free, which is pretty awesome because some of these very long prompts would cost quite a bit of money in ChatGPT. So let's get started. And the way we start is we go to like aistudio.google.com and let's create a new prompt. So we're creating a new chat prompt. And the first thing we're going to do is upload this entire book. So what I did is I got this ebook, which is a book about ADHD, which seems on point because somebody who has ADHD might want to use like a chatbot to summarize things. And I'm looking for ADHD.txt. So it's about 653K. In Amazon, this is a 400-page book, and it's 144,000 tokens. So it's using, not even 20% of the total context window, but it does exceed the 128K context window that ChatGPT currently has. And so I'm just going to say, well, I'm not going to say anything. Let's just type something. So I can say this is a file I will ask some questions about. And, so ChatGPT at the current cost, I think 144,000 tokens. I think each prompt would cost me about $1.44 at this point. So it's very nice of Google to let us try this. So okay. So I got the content. Yeah, like when I upload the file, it always comes back and says no content, and there's no point in really adding a prompt. But in the transcript, it'll make more sense perhaps. So I'm going to say, tell me what this file is about, and list the chapter headings. And and these prompts, because it's a pretty large file, like they might take like a minute to come back. So let's see what happens. While it's running, we can see, okay, there's some settings we can have. There's like safety. Okay, it came back pretty quick. And so it gives us a info of the file, about the file, and then here are the chapter headings. So now I'm going to say, please summarize chapter 1. I'm going to give it a complex prompt that we can look at. So on my blog, which is bruce.ai, like I have a post with some prompting tips. And so I'm going to kind of use that checklist to try to come up with the best possible prompt. And so I give it a persona. You're a college level instructor, and then you explain difficult concepts in simple terms. Your task is to summarize this file. I want a study guide, like Cliff Notes, like to prepare me for reading the text in depth. For each chapter, here are the things to focus on and to provide, and summarize in 500 to 1,500 words. And who's the audience? I'm a college graduate or undergraduate, and write in a clear but engaging academic style, etc. So here it came back, and this is a pretty good summary. It followed the template pretty closely, and I found that like I can't tell it summarize the entire book chapter by chapter, and like I have to tell it like each chapter at a time, and that way I get back 1,000 words or so. If I tell it to summarize the entire book, I just get a very short summary. I couldn't figure out a prompt that would really give me a proper summary. So I'm going to summarize a couple chapters, and each one will take about a minute. So I'm going to kind of skip through, and after summarizing like 4 chapters, we'll ask it a couple questions about to try to synthesize different parts of the book. Okay, so I'm back. So basically we summarized 4 chapters. I'm going to post these on the blog at druce.ai, so you can kind of check out how good it is. It's quite good. So something we can do is say, can you tell me in detail about the cases in chapter 3? Which cases discussed? So one thing we notice is it doesn't stream the answers. I'm kind of speculating, but I wonder if that might have to do with the mixture of experts, that it might send the question to multiple models and see which one is doing best, and then kind of gate them at the end. And then, but what you can see is like the token count ticks up as it generates the response. So it plucked this out. Of course, when it was summarizing the chapters. So one thing we noticed, here, it actually got truncated. I don't think I did anything to do that. But we can actually run it again. Sometimes we do get an error that says the model's not available or something like that. So since that one got truncated, I'm just going to run it again. Another thing that we can do is ask it to generate a glossary. So in order to do that, it would have to look at multiple, pluck information from a lot of different places and synthesize it. So I'm just getting it prompt ready for that. And so here we got a more detailed answer. So we got 6 case studies. So can you create a glossary of the key technical terms and definitions I should know when reading this book? And I think that's pretty much it. So I'll kind of wrap it up. The one thing you could do with this is, suppose you have a bookshelf with 5 or 6 books about statistics or data science or web development. Potentially you could upload all 5 books and then ask it some questions. It takes a little bit of time with these very long uploads. So, and then at some point they're going to start charging for this. So it might be a couple bucks per query, but if it saves you time, that might still be worthwhile. You can also do complex sort of research and say, upload a book, and say you're doing research about a period in history, you could query different books and say, give me everything in here about George Washington or some character or some specific incident, kind of retrieval augmented generation. So this large context is incredibly useful. The next thing I might try when I have time is to upload a video and see if I can give a video of myself doing some task manually and see if it can generate code to do it automatically. That would be quite amazing. But anyway, that's it for now. And if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear them. Put them in the comments, and talk to you soon. Have a great day.